your kind appreciation, young David Smith.
When you, the classic match that we talked about that I watched on tape before I even met you because I'd always heard so much about Malenkos and Bulldogs. I mean, was that only a one-time thing?
No, we wrestled them a couple times before, and after that.
How'd you like working? I mean, that was always my favorite team when I was a kid. I just loved the British Bulldogs.
They're fun. They're both great guys. Dynamite's a legend. He's a legend. He's probably the reason why a lot of us, myself, you, and the list goes on to guys even entering the business now at our height, weight, and kind of style that we do were the reason why we got in the business. I learned a lot from for the small amount of time that I was with him over there. But he was, he was towards the end of his career. His hips were really bad at that point, but he was still going, still chucking along. And, Davey was Davey, strong as an ox. And it was just, both guys were very fun to work with and very giving.
The thing about Davey, too, is he was as strong as an ox and a big guy, but he started as a little guy. So he could move and I don't know if not high fly, but he could have that type of match when he was motivated and when he wanted to.
Yeah. There's a move, and the short arm scissor, and I saw him. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do this, but it was Shinji Takano, which was he's about 6'2", 6'3", probably 260, and weight distribution of a human is a lot different than the weight on a barbell. And he leaned over in a short arm scissor and picked this guy up straight up, like with no effort, and that was pretty incredible.
Because you're basically just pulling from your lower back and basically one side of your body. Yeah. That's what short arm, and legs too.
Yeah, I mean, I'd always do that with him, but that was a lot easier than picking up a guy at 6'2", which now the weight gets distributed all the way to the guy's head. So, again, it's a lot different than a barbell weight. The greatest times and the best times I ever had in the business was working in Japan, for sure.
Was it the freedom you had?
Not that I didn't enjoy
I get you.
My tenure here in the States with 3 companies that I work for, but definitely for sure in Japan.
Because of the freedom.
The freedom, the style. I could just go out and be me. I didn't have to worry about anything. If I wanted to wrestle for 5 minutes, for 6 minutes, if it ended up being for 20 minutes, and and the respect of the audience you had every single night.
Who was some of the really super popular gaijins when you were working over there between both companies? I mean, you talk about Hansen.
Hansen, of course, being number one.
Biggest, most popular?
Probably,
Hansen? Wow.
Just a huge star. I mean, I got to do several tours with Dick Byers, the Destroyer. It was one of the biggest first American guys that went over there, was working with Ricky Dozan, when Ricky Dozan was one of the first big Japanese guys who was actually Korean. But Dick Byers is a huge name there.
Always wears his mask.
Always wears his mask.
No matter what.
And if you saw him without it, you would know the reason why. Kind of like La Parka. The first time I saw La Parka without his mask on.
Ugly.
I thought La Parka meant horse face. Actually,
remember he scared Bobby Eaton?
Yeah.
He was like, man, this guy's looking at me.
Yeah.
He's looking at me. I'm scared of him.
But definitely Dick Byers, but probably way before Stan. But guys like Stan, Abdul the Butcher. I mean, anybody that was totally different from the culture of Japan. Butcher was totally different.
Interesting.
Definitely different. Anybody, that's why Brody was such a big star there, I believe. Of course, they like guys like myself or guys that could wrestle, but they're also, the other end of the spectrum was somebody that was totally different from the Japanese culture.
Right.
Tiger Jet Singh was another guy who was a big name.
Well, because you mentioned, it's a good point, because Japan's very much a conformist society, and that everybody, they do the same thing, they look the same way when they go to work, they're wearing the same clothes.
Right.
Somebody comes in and just being, I remember guys would go, I remember a couple times even me, the first time with FW, I saw Tarzan Goto punch a fan in the face. And the fan was got up smiling. Oh my God, hurting.
Oh, yeah.
I got punched in the face by Tarzan Goto. I was like, where the hell are we? You're allowed to do that?
Yeah.
You can run after people and they run away. They're scared. I'd never seen anything like that before. Obviously, in our country, fans would just look at you and give you the bird. But
yeah,
they believe it.
Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid having lunch one day, and outside their window was an intersection, and these two people kept bothering for an autograph, and Davey was getting a little perturbed because he wanted to be left alone. He picked the guy up, walked outside the building, pressed him over his head, and threw him in the middle of a 4-way intersection. It was like, and I'm just sitting looking through the window going, I wonder if I'm working with him tonight.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's borderline attempted murder.
Pretty much.
Right?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's what you could pretty much get.
But the guy, the funny part to your point, the guy had a smile on his face.
Yeah.
He was press slammed by Davey Boy Smith.
Go tell him, Asai, Ultimo Dragon, would always talk about the time when, I think it was Tiger G. Singh slapped him in the face when he was 12.
Yeah.
And everyone in school thought I was so cool.
A lot of sadistic people over there.
Yeah.
That really hit me, beat me.
Yeah, smashed me in the face.